ants in the form of men, and the humiliation will be all over them. From all sides they will be humiliated, from everywhere. Remember, they are coming in front of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and then they will be driven into a jail, not just into Jahannam, a prison. They will go into a jail in Jahannam. Not just into Jahannam. Jahannam is already bad enough. But they will go into a jail in Jahannam, and it will have the hottest fire rising over that person who has takabbur and who is arrogant. And they will be given a drink, and it will be a drink of the juice of the people who live in Jahannam. And they will be made to drink that drink and that juice of Jahannam because they were arrogant, because they couldn't control their mouth, because they had takabbur, because they had kibr inside them, because they used to look down to people before, because they used to wait for that first salam, because they never used to greet someone till he greets them. They had takabbur inside them. Then they will be sent into hellfire, and they will be given the drink of hellfire, and they will be raised with the hottest fire, and they will be humiliated in the sight of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. That is what takabbur is. That is what arrogance is. Pride and arrogance in our heart, it will have no benefit for us. But in fact, it will be a great deterrent. And when we look through Islamic history, the trials and tribulations of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, when you look at all the problems the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam faced, many of those problems Aqa alayhi salatu wasalam faced was because the opposition has pride. Because the opposition was arrogant. Many of the problems Aqa alayhi salatu wasalam faced. If you look at the history, go and read the seerah of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Many of those problems encountered to Aqa alayhi salatu wasalam was because the opposition had takabbur. Because the opposition was arrogant. That is the reason that it leads to so many. Look, the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was confronted with Namrud. Namrud came to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he said that Allah gives life and death. This was stated. So what did he do? He brought two people in front of him. He killed one person that was sentenced to death. He let one go free. These two people were sentenced to death. He let one go free, and he killed the other person. And he said to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said, look, I am God. I killed one and I freed one. So then Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said, Allah brings the sun out from the east, and asked Namrud that you bring the sun out from the west. He couldn't do this. He was angered. And what did he do? He ordered and arranged for Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam to be thrown into the great fire. Yes, he was ordered because he had takabbur, because he had arrogance. He thought he has an authority and a power more than Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. And what happened? Allah protected Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah made that fire cool. And what was the underlying issue here? What was the problem? Why did it all happen with Namrud? What was the reason it happened? It was because he had pride, because he was arrogant, because he wanted to question the power of Almighty Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. And what happens? A disaster. When Fir'aun, he repeatedly challenged Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. On many occasions he challenged Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And as a result of disrespect to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, when punishment would fall onto the people of Fir'aun, when they would fall onto the people of Pharaoh, the Fir'aun, what would he do? He would beg Musa alayhi salam. He said, please ask Allah to remove these difficulties. Please ask Allah to remove these difficulties. And as soon as Allah removes the difficulties, what does he do? He does it again. Because he is arrogant. Because he was arrogant. Because he thinks that he has the power in his hands. And the power is not with Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. It is this pride that caused destruction to many kings, many nations, many countries, many families. People who think they are untouchable because of mal, because of cars, because of materialistic items. They think they are untouchable. Then Allah Jalla Jalaluhu takes all the money away from them. Then they realize there is a power over them. Then they realize there is a power over them. But till then, they don't care. In public, in private, that person that has takabbur, he always expects everything to be about him. Everything to be about him. He wants people to respect him. He wants people to walk behind him. He wants people to make sure they are looking after him. He wants people to be behind him. That person that has arrogance cannot see anything else. Bear this in mind. And I'm telling you this. That person who has arrogance, that person who has takabbur, he cannot see anything else. He is completely blind because takabbur is so powerful. Arrogance is so powerful that it takes over your whole dunya. It takes over your whole life. It takes over your physical body. It takes over your spiritual body. It takes everything over. All you want is to win. That's it. On the top. You want to be there. But remember, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu can take everything away from you. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam says that if anyone behaves insolently and walks with takabbur. Walks, people who walk with takabbur, walk with arrogance, that I have something in me, that I've got something. The Prophet ﷺ said that he will meet Allah covered with all of his anger that he has. That's how you will meet Allah. You'll meet Allah with the anger that you have. Now, who wants to meet Allah with anger? Who are we to have anger in front of Allah? But Aqa ﷺ says that is the way your anger will be covered all over you, and that is the way you will stand in front of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. This is what takabbur does. This is what this word arrogance, it is such a powerful word. Remember, as a man, as long as he is feeling superior over someone, and he will not like for others what he likes for himself, this is not the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, none of you are believers until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. So if you think he hasn't got this, I've got this, he has, till you do not love what you love for yourself for him, you are not even a mu'min. Forget arrogance and takabbur. You are not even a mu'min. If you say you've got something and you wish that your brother has it as well, that person sitting next to you, you want him to have it. You have a lovely car, you want him to have it. You have lovely clothes, you want him to have it. You have a lovely house, make dua for him to have it. Till you don't have this thinking, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said that person is not a person of iman. He's not a mu'min. He has no iman inside him because he doesn't think of the person next to him. And inshallah lazim, I will mention these 3 types of pride and arrogance. I will mention one and I will stop inshallah, and I will carry on next week. Next week it's a bit more interesting inshallah. We will learn and we will realize there's small things that take us away from arrogance and pride. But remember, subhanallah, pride and arrogance, it is something that a person sees nothing in the dunya. If arrogance comes inside you and pride gets the better of you, that person doesn't want to see anything apart from his self-esteem and his elevation. That's it in the dunya. He only wants to see him going up. He does not care about no one because it has blinded him. And the first type of the person that Imam Ghazali rahimahumullah states that people of knowledge, I'm just giving you an example so you understand. People of knowledge are in greater danger of arrogance than anyone else. People who have knowledge are in greater danger to arrogance than anyone else. This is Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. Remember, I mentioned the whole waqi of Imam Ghazali rahimahullah when he was writing his hadith and he was studying and he went to different countries and he studied and he did everything on the book. And then a robber came and he stole everything. He stole all the books. Imam Ghazali said, please just give me my book back. I had a detailed lecture on this on the ulama lecture. And he said, he said, why do you want your book? There's nothing, it's only a book. He goes, everything I know is in the book. Everything I know, it is written in the book. Please give me my book. Then the thief told Imam Ghazali rahimahumullah, he said that if you have written everything, all your knowledge in one book, then it is no use to you. This should be in your mind. Imam Ghazali went, he took the advice of a thief. Later on, he was asked that what advice benefited you in life? He said, I took an advice of a thief. I memorized everything. I didn't just keep it in the book. I memorized everything. And Imam Ghazali became one of the greatest alims of his time, the Ahlullah, the men of Allah. Where did he take advice from? From a thief. That he memorized it. This is the Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. And we visited the resting place of Imam Ghazali in Baghdad Sharif when we went. And this is the saying of Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. He says, people of knowledge are in greater danger of arrogance than anyone else. Those people who have knowledge, those people who host mahafils, those people who lead the community, those people who are looked up by community members and they look for you, they ask for you. Imam Ghazali said they are in the greatest danger of arrogance because the knowledge that they have might cause them to look down on someone who doesn't have the same knowledge as them. These great ulama, you think it is easy for them to come out with sincerity, to come out with ikhlas, to come out with sincerity. It's not easy. It is a difficult situation because shaitan always tries to attack. Shaitan always attacks. You have superiority, you have more knowledge. Everyone goes through this, but you have to control yourself. The reward is in here. And he says that they look down to people just in case they look down to people that have less knowledge than them. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, verily, among what I fear the most from my nation is a hypocrite with a knowledgeable tongue. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said this. That is the most feared thing is someone that has a knowledgeable tongue but it's a munafiq. That is a hypocrite. And that is why it is so important. This is narrated in Musnad Ahmad. And it is important to understand that pride and arrogance is lethal. Don't walk around in the communities thinking that this person must come to me, this person must look at me, this person must greet me first, this person has a smaller car than me, this person doesn't have as good clothes as me, this person doesn't have a nice house, this person doesn't have a nice room. Do not look down on that person. Why? Because you look down on him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes you down and puts you in hellfire. It's so simple. What difference does it make if someone makes salam to you first, or because you are big and in the community you are माजरत यही लफ्ज़ आता है चौधरी, ये लफ्ज़ पता है ना, because it's mentioned in history so many times ना culture में. मैं चौधरी रशीद साहब तो माशाल्लाह they beautiful person, अल्लाह बरकत दे और लंबी ज़िंदगी अता फरमाए इनको. लेकिन वो कहते हैं ना चौधरी वगैरह तो चलते हैं, चौधरी कहते हैं कि आगे से सलाम उसको ही करना चाहिए. I'm not going to do the salam. And these people are not because that person is younger. That person has takabbur. That person has pride when he looks down to someone. It is so lethal. It comes down to this. And Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, if that feeling comes inside you that I have a nice car, I have a nice luggage suitcase, that person doesn't have it, you just have that feeling. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, like a mustard seed, this much in that heart, this much, just the mustard seed. That makes you lose all of your iman. Everything is wasted. All what you are doing in the dunya is wasted. And you go into the hottest part of hellfire. So it is important, my brothers, ikhwan and muslimin, my sisters, that please work on yourself. Takabbur is mentioned. Someone of the name of Iblis, who was an alim in Jannatul Firdaus, who was a teacher. This should give it the maximum explanation. An alim in Jannah, not an alim in dunya. An alim in Jannatul Firdaus, a teacher in Jannatul Firdaus, was thrown out of Jannah, was disregarded, has become a disbeliever. Why? Because خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. He said, قال أنا خير من that. I am better than that person. That's all he said. That's all his thinking was. He was better than someone next to him. And what happened? His whole life is ruined. He's a disbeliever. He's not a person of Iman. He's not a teacher. He's been disregarded from Jannah. Why? Because he questioned the authority of Almighty Allah. That is what it is. When you think you're questioning someone next to you that I am better than him, you are questioning the authority of Almighty Allah. Because Allah has made him like that. Allah has made you like, who are you to think that I'm better than a person? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength and ability to act upon what I have said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from takabbur, evil, arrogance, shaitan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this mahafil from us. Wa ma tawfiqi illa billah. Inshallah the khatam will be read. Jazakumullah khair. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة. Recite one time Surah Fatiha and three times Surah Ikhlas Sharif. Inshallah, before the dua requests, our great Shaykh Saqib Iqbal Hafidahullah has given a great litany, a great dua, a great wird. It was gifted to us when we attended last week Friday. For those people who look for abundance in their rizq, those people who want to increase their risk, those people who want to double and treble their risk and their halal risk, there is a great litany, a great dua, a great wazifa for this. That after every salah you recite Sallallahu ala Muhammad Nabi Lummi wa sallam, Durood Sharif, awwal and akhir. Before and after, write Durood Sharif. After every salah, 11 times, Allahu yarzuqu bi ibadihi man yasha. Allahu yarzuqu bi ibadihi man yasha wa huwa al-qawiyyul aziz. Allahu yarzuqu bi ibadihi man yasha wa huwa al-qawiyyul aziz. 11 times, Allahu yarzuqu bi ibadihi man yasha wa huwa al-qawiyyul aziz. And Durood Sharif, I will just tell you inshallah exactly where the ayat is as well, that you know and that you can use the ayat. It is very important, those that want to increase their wealth. Allahu latifum bi'ibadihi yarzuqu man yasha wa huwa al-qawiyyul aziz. So after every salah, awwal akhir Durood Sharif, and 11 times Allahu latifum bi'ibadihi yarzuqu man yasha wa huwa al-qawiyyul aziz. And this is in Surah 42 verse number 19. Surah 42 verse number 19. And then straight after make dua to Allah that Allah increase your rizq and give you halal rizq inshallah al-azim. Every time inshallah for blessing and barakah. It's ayat of Quran al-Kareem. It is not something that has come out of storybook. This is Quran al-Kareem, and it is from the great mashayikh, the chain coming down from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam all the way to all the great ulama, and then it is gifted to everyone inshallah. So as I said, this is not something from me, it is from the great alim Shaykh Saqib Iqbal hafidahullah. I am just conveying the message that I have learnt, and I want everyone to also benefit from it. If I want an increase in my rizq, then I want increase in everyone else's rizq here as well inshallah al-azim. Dua requests inshallah, please together if we can say Ameen inshallah al-azim. Is it this one, Mubarak Hussain, the first one? Is that the one? Dua for Mubarak Hussain Sahib, who passed away on Wednesday. There's a few brothers who passed away. Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Yasin's mother who passed away a few days ago. Allah grant her Jannatul Firdaus. Dua for Salim Bawa's father-in-law passed away this week. These are all this week. Allahu Akbar Kabira. It just shows life is nothing. Life is nothing. It can leave us anytime. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. We listened to something last week and they mentioned that it was asked to Jibreel alayhi salam that what is the dunya like? You see the dunya so much. They asked Jibreel alayhi salam, the head of the malaika, that what is dunya like? You've always seen dunya, you've always been dunya. What is dunya like? Jibreel alayhi salam said, it is like going into a room that has doors on each side. You walk in one door, you walk out the other door. That is it. That's Jibreel alayhi salam's explanation of the dunya. You walk in one door, you walk out the other door. That's how small it is. That's what dunya is. So look at these people are passing away. This week, 3-4 people that we know. Imagine millions of people that pass away. This dunya is nothing. So why let arrogance and why let pride get that better of you? And then go in the akhirah and suffer. So protect yourself, inshallah. Dua for Uncle Sana, who has a heart attack. He used to work next door, Uncle Aziz's shop. He's had a second heart attack in the last few months. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Shifa Kamila. Dua for Yasim Rahman's grandfather who is in hospital. Allah grant Shifa Kamila. Dua for Amil's mum who is in ICU in Croydon. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her Shifa Kamila. Nadeem Sab's family for blessing and barakah. Allah grant them blessing and barakah. Saeed Sab and his family for good health. Saeed Sab always is helping with the masjid. He's been ill for quite some weeks now. Allah grant him Shifa Kamila. Dua for Shabazz by his mum who is not well. Allah grant him Shifa Kamila. Everyone needs to say Ameen. But Wallahi Lazim, we will be need one day. We will need this Ameen. Believe me, we will need this Ameen. Then we will be dying that everyone should say Ameen. Remember, in 41 is accepted Ameen. In 41 is accepted Ameen. So you never know, yours Ameen might be that strength Ameen. So it is important everyone together say Ameen. Dua for brother Safir who is having difficulties, Allah make it easy for him. Dua for brother Tanveer and family for good health, Allah grant him Shifa Kamila. Brother Qazi's marhum parents, Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Sister Bashira, she hasn't been well, Allah grant her Shifa Kamila. Dua for brother Asim who is having difficulties, Allah make it easy for him. Dua for Atif Bhai and his family, Allah grant them blessing and barakah. Dua for Amir and family, Allah grant them blessing and barakah. Dua for Harun's Nani who has injured her back, Allah grant her Shifa Kamila. Dua for sisters Rista processes who's last week we must lie. I thought we couldn't read this properly. Explain it to me. What does this say? Last week I said the complete incorrect thing. Dua a sister who Rista process has started. Is that what does it mean? The process has started now? नहीं, last week ये बड़ा मसला हो गया था. मैंने तो फिर मैंने कहा इसको सुधार देते हैं आज. Dua for a sister whose rishta process has started. Agar shuru, Allah grant her blessing and barakah, inshallah lazim. Dua for my brother Wasim Rahman, who is not well, Allah grant him shifa kamila. Dua for brothers rishta is facing difficulties, Allah make it easy for them. Dua for Zaid by his uncle marhum, parent and sister, Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Muhammad Ahmad for blessing and barakah. Yasir's mum for good health and blessings, Allah grant them blessing and barakah. Dua for Habib Bilal and his family for blessing and barakah. Dua for Muhammad Qayyum for blessing and barakah. Special duas for Khan Sahab. आज का लंगर का अहतमाम खान साहब की फैमिली से है. I just mentioned last week once that there is no one. Khan Sahab straight away put his hand up. और 11वीं के मौके पर with the blessing of Ghaus Pak radiyallahu ta'ala an, Allah grant his parents blessing and barakah. They organize the food, their family blessing and barakah. और जो भी मुश्किलात हो, जो भी difficulties हो, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala आसानी अता फरमाए. Dua for brother Arsalan who has a kidney problem, Allah सेहत तंदुरुस्ती अता फरमाए. Dua for brother Israr and family for blessing, Allah blessing and barakah अता फरमाए. Dua for brother Waqar's good health, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him shifa kamila. Dua for Palestine, Gaza, एक ही चीज़ है फ़लस्तीन और गज़ा, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला सेहत तंदुरुस्ती अता फरमाए. अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला allow them to be freed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect Al-Aqsa. Inshallah, there is no one in the longer dates going forward, inshallah. आज आखिरी दिन था जो नाम लिखा हुआ था. Today was the last day that the name is written down. There is no one going for the following weeks, for next week, the week after. So is there anyone that wants to put their name down, inshallah lazim, for next week? This is a blessing and barakah. Maybe if someone has passed away, put the name down on behalf of them. If someone is still living, for them you can do langar as well. You receive the blessing and barakah of the whole mahafil, receive the reward, that person, that one person. If you want it for your own children's blessing, upbringing, or you have a birthday in the family, you have a wedding in the family, you have a khatam in the family, or some good news, your children finished 1 juz, your children recited 2 juz. This is happiness. This is where we go wrong. Happiness is not only if he gets a degree. Unfortunately, this is the dunya. He gets a degree, he's good in exam. My son's become a doctor, it's happiness. Your son completes qaida, it's a blessing. Your 1 juz is completed by looking and reading, it's a blessing. Your son reads his first salah, or your daughter reads their first salah, it's a blessing. Your son says, Dad, I want to do wudu, it's a blessing. Give langar, take blessing, take barakah from the work, from the remembrance of Almighty Allah and the praise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So is there anyone, inshallah, that we need at least 3 or 4 names that we put in the next coming 3 or 4 weeks, inshallah lazim. Langar का तमाम आप अपने आप कर लें या पैसे दे दें, ये भाई करवा देंगे inshallah. What is the price for the langar? 225, inshallah. All these brothers and sisters, everyone is being fed, and so many shops are given on that same night as well. Just feeding its own barakah and blessing. So if there is any brothers, inshallah, let me know, or any sisters for next 3. What we'll do, we'll work on sunnah. There's 3, inshallah, is a sunnah. The next 3 weeks, inshallah. Agli 3 week, inshallah. The next week, following week, and the week after, inshallah. कोई भाई है, एक भाई हाथ ऊपर कर ले इस दफ़ा तो अल्लाह बरकत दे. ये देखो भाई माशाल्लाह बैठे हैं, अल्लाह बरकत दे. अल्लाह इनको अभी से इनके रिस्क में इजाफा शुरू कर दे, inshallah, that they put their name up, inshallah. If there's any other brothers or sisters should combine themselves as well, inshallah, and do langar. It is important that the sisters, inshallah, you can go and take the money from your husbands later on, but just put the hand up for now, inshallah, and give the commitment, inshallah lazim. Koi aur bhai hai, inshallah, we need to finish 3 spaces, inshallah, then 3 weeks there is no problem, inshallah. It's sorted? 3 weeks sorted, mashallah. 3 week ho gaya, Allah barakat ata farma, inshallah lazim. Inshallah dua will be done. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. 146,000 durood sharif have been read. Allahumma rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Allahumma rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira wa nunazzilu min al-Qur'an ma huwa shifaa'un wa rahmatun lil mu'minin. Ya Rasulullah unzur halana ya Habibullah isma' qalana innani fi bahri ghammin mughraqun khudh yadi sahil lana ashkalana fasahil ya ilahi kull sa'bin bi hurmati sayyid al-abrar ya Hazratullah Shaykh Sayyid Shah Abdul Qadir Jilani shay'an lillahi al-madad. हाजी ख्वाजा कुतुब फरीद हक फरीद या फरीद हक फरीद या फरीद हक फरीद या फरीद करम मांगता हूँ, अता मांगता हूँ, इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ. या रसूल अल्लाह उन्जुर हालना या हबीबुल्लाह इस्मा क़ालना. Ya Allah, whoever is ill, grant them shifa kamila. Ya Allah, with the sadaqah of this mahfil, with the nazar and karam of the awliya Allah, Ya Allah, accept all these du'as in your bargah. Ya Allah, whoever is ill, grant them shifa kamila. Ya Allah, whoever is passed away, grant them Jannatul Firdaus. There is a sister who is suffering with black magic, Ya Rabbil Alameen, grant us shifa kamila. Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Whoever has asked for du'as, whoever has come here today, Ya Allah, grant everyone sukoon in their hearts. और आज का लंगर का इख्तिताम खान साहब की फैमिली से है. या रब्बिल आलमीन को बरकत अता फरमा. या रब्बिल आलमीन, allow them to be under the umbrella of Huzur Pirane Pir Dastagiri Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala an. Ya Rabbil Alameen, whoever is here, accept from them, Ya Rabbil Alameen, this mahfil. Ya Allah, protect us from takabbur, arrogance and evil and shaitan. Ya Rabb, accept this mahfil in your bargah. Ya Allah, protect Palestine. Ya Allah, protect Al-Aqsa. Ya Allah, those that have passed away, grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Those that are ill, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Those that are doing the zulm, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. They should be, Ya Rabbil Alameen, dealt in their manners, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, from the ghaib, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Protect Al-Aqsa, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Kareem, wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bi rahmatika Ya Arhamar Rahimin.